Welcome to the Hesitant Homesteader.
Hey everybody.
This year has, for all of us, been full of uncertainties and having to be flexible and having to change our schedules. Being on the homestead, though, I would say that Jenna and I have had this conversation, my sister, that because we're home a lot homesteading and we were homeschooling up until this last year with Chuck and I, we did send them to school until they were sent home from school. This is our life. I mean, we're home a lot anyway, and we're never bored. We're always having projects to do. And so from that standpoint, even though there's been transitions, we've pretty much had some normalcy with all the projects that we've had.
Yeah.
Being here anyway.
So this is, I don't know, it's a little bit sentimental because this will be our last video for 2020. And I really want to end the year on a good note. I don't want to be negative. There's been enough negative press and enough negative comments. Just in general, and it's like, you know, I don't want to be negative, and I don't really have a whole lot of negative to say. You know, being on the homestead, having our little place in the country here, just our little acre of land, it's kept us busy, and both of us are full-time employed, and our kids go to school, so we're busy. We're not full-time homesteaders, but this year, you know, since March, we have been home pretty much full-time. And
I'm more home than you are. I'm not full-time. Chuck is full-time, but
right.
Yeah, I work a few hours with what I do online, which is kind of nice, or I can go into the office. But yeah, I'm like you. I want to be positive. I'm hopeful for the next year. Of course, there's a lot of uncertainties out there with what's been going on, but we do have a hope for our future, and you know, we stand firm on Christ. So that's where we put our faith and our hope.
Yep. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is a little wrap-up video. I thought it'd be kind of fun on our property here, and then we'll transition over to Jenna and Ben. And we thought, you know, we don't have a lot of time, so we're not, like I said, full-time homesteaders, so we don't do huge projects every year. Our progress is made in little incremental steps, you know, every year. And so this is really only like our third year at this property doing projects. And so, you know, looking back, what was cool about this year is we did our first garden.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out really fun, actually. We learned a lot, and I don't regret it, and we're gonna talk about that later because that's kind of one of our goals for this upcoming year, for 2021. We really worked on our area for our chickens, which is just over here. I've got about 24 chickens right now. It's the most we've ever had, and that's doing well, and that's been a lot of fun. And we've done some like home renovation projects, and we worked on our shed a little bit. So just little things here and there. But we definitely have some projects that we want to do for next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of projects we want to do for next year, so we'll fill you in.
Yep, so we'll walk around, we'll share you ours, and then we'll transition over, and Jenna and Ben will talk about what they're gonna have done for next year, and kind of a recap for this year, and they'll close out the video. So we would like to just say thank you so much for watching. We've enjoyed this process. It's been a huge learning curve, but we appreciate you taking the time to watch us, and that's it.
Yeah,
just thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so we're across the street and we're in our garden area, and so for 2021, this would be, I'll lump this garden kind of into like one big category, and we want to do more in our garden. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, this year we definitely want to get a hold of our tomatoes, because we kind of just let them go all over the ground, and then we wasted several of them because they went bad. So I want to get some cattle panels like Jenna and Ben have, and just definitely let them grow up the cattle panels, and that'll save us a lot of waste on the tomatoes. Yeah,
so I would say goal would be be more attentive to the garden. I think we spent a fair amount of time out here, and we didn't have a huge weed problem. We did no-till gardening, and I like that. But I would say for a goal would be, I'd like to do more garden beds, so I'd like to make the garden a little bit bigger. I'd like to pay more attention to succession planting. I was kind of like never done that before, and this was our first garden, so I thought, I better just I better just do the best I can with keeping it simple. But I'd like to do more garden beds kind of back in this area here, and just grow more food, I think. Okay, so this area behind me was that part of our garden where the previous owners had like kind of set up some railroad ties and did like a really big raised bed. And so last year what we did is use this area for all of our vining plants. We had big jumbo squash, we had some watermelons, we had some cantaloupes in here, and it was really good because they really spread out way more than I thought they would. I mean, this was just covered with vines. It was pretty cool. But I would say for next year, my battle and my goal with this was weeds. And so I want to address that for next year. We weeded this area a lot. And we got this horrible bindweed plant that comes in. It's a vining plant and it wraps itself around everything and binds it up. And it was crazy stuff.
It had a pretty purple flower.
Yeah, it was pretty, but boy, it would strangle you to death.
Everything, yeah.
It was crazy. So I think it could have came in on some compost that we got. So what I'm thinking about doing, so my goal is really tackle this area behind us once and for all. I want to clear out all of these like mulberry weed trees that grow. There's some just untended raspberry plants back in here. There's a big like trumpet vine or something that's growing on this light post back here. It's just really unkept, and it's bothered me for the last 2 years, and now it's to the point where...
Yeah, we need to just knock it down before spring comes and it's full of leaves and stuff. It's easier to get it now.
Yep, so we're gonna get after that and make this area a lot cleaner and more productive. So this is another big project for next year, and this is a big, long front porch on our house, and it has totally been falling apart and deteriorating ever since we've moved in. In the 3 years we've been here, this column here has actually popped out because the base of it didn't have proper foundations. Just the whole thing needs redone. And so we're not gonna tackle that entirely on our own. We're gonna have either a contractor or some family members that are in the business take the brunt of this work and do the heavy lifting. And I'll come in and I'll help when I can. But we are really excited because this is just a big feature of the house and we love it. Our house faces south, and it's just so wonderful to sit out here in the summertime, just all the time. And we use this porch a ton. And when the porch isn't functional like it is right now with falling apart, it's just like a big part of your house is gone.
And it's really not safe when a whole column falls down. So it's got to happen this spring.
Yeah, having an old farmhouse is interesting to say the least.
Yeah. But we're getting there.
Yeah, it's
one thing at a time.
That's all part of homesteading. You know, homesteading's not just gardening and chickens. I mean, this is the home. And there's a lot of work that's involved with it. And, you know, I asked for that, kind of prayed about it even, that, you know, I could do something to really get my hands dirty and learn how to do more things. And this house has let me do that. So.
My dream would be for Joanna and Chip Gaines to come here and fix our house.
I think Chip would level it, but that's
he
all
might
right.
say, well, let's start over.
So that's a big project. Oh, and this is Theo. You can say hi to Theo.
He's our new addition to our family.
He's a Christmas kitten we got. We rescued him from the Humane Society.
He is in the house with us.
Yep, we're gonna have a house kitty.
So I don't even think he's been outside yet. So I thought he was trying to get out of the door. I'll bring him out. I don't want him to like it too much because we want to keep him in the house.
So our final goal for 2021 is to clean up our backyard. And I'm just gonna kind of lump it into one big category of clean up the backyard. So part of it is our outdoor wood boiler. This area, you know, it's an outdoor wood boiler and I get it. We live in the country, we're not in the city, but I still want it to look nice. And so I had a goal and I didn't get it done of doing a fence to go across this area to screen this off from the wind and just kind of make it look nice, a visual screen to kind of contain that. So that's a goal to get that area cleaned up. And
the old shed doors are laying in the yard. They gotta go.
Yeah.
So Ben's taking a load to the trash this week, so I want that gone. Just some, you know,
just picking things
twigs,
up.
sticks, because we have a lot of wind out here.
Yeah, so things get run down. I'll kind of turn around here, but like back over here in this area, I had done a second chicken run, and we had a big windstorm. As you can see, we got a big tree up here, a big maple tree, and a big branch fell down and totally smashed part of it here. I can show you.
Chuck worked really hard in this area. He was out here working really hard, and one big tree limb, boom.
Yeah. So I just want to get this kind of buttoned down and make it more secure, and get this cleaned up and get the whole chicken area. We're always working on that. That's kind of fun. You know, the coop, I had to get it fully enclosed because we've had a lot of hawks come in and pick off chickens, and so they're really protected now. So I don't know, maybe landscaping and just kind of making the area like cleaned up and look nice. I would say our whole backyard, that would be one big goal.
Yeah, just to clean it up a little bit. And the chickens are enjoying all the pumpkins you got at the end of the season. So
Yep.
we have a pumpkin we just smashed out here for them to eat.
Yeah, they're kind of digging it here. We'll show you. And we did a big compost pile in here, and so they like it.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Yeah. Okay, so that's our goals. So we're going to say goodbye 2021, not good riddance. It was a great year, and we're looking forward to 2021 here on our little property.
Yes, we are. We'll
So-
see where we're going.
Yep, so please stay tuned, keep watching as these projects unfold. We'll show you how things turn out, and just encourage you to give you ideas for your little place in the country, how to make it your own. Maybe you can learn from our mistakes and be inspired. So that's what we're gonna share, and now we'll change gears and go over and check out Jenna and Ben.
Hey guys, welcome to our property. We're Ben and Jenna. We're gonna just take you around and kind of go through some of our goals for the year and what we have kind of conjured up as what we want to get done. We have really, really yucky weather today. It's spitting rain and it's cold and windy, but we're gonna walk around anyways. Just take you around and show you.
20 degrees warmer than yesterday.
That's true, but windy.
It was like 45, and yesterday was like 23 when I woke up.
That's true.
I can deal with 45 and rain. Over 25.
All right, let's go over here. So one of the first things that we want to do is to expand our garden space.
So here's current garden space.
Right, so we did grow quite a bit of food in here this year, but I think there's always room for more, especially when you have a big drop just fell right in my eye. Especially when you have lots of kids and mouths to feed. So we did a lot better this year. We grew quite a bit of food, but I would really like to up our pantry and the stuff that we're able to store away to eat throughout the winter. So that means that the garden needs to grow, it needs to expand, and we need a lot more space than what we currently have.
Find some canning.
Hopefully this
Running
year's not
pretty
an issue for canning lids. Anybody that did that this last year knows that canning lids were hard to come by, to say the least. So
And
we
still are. I've
yeah.
been watching the shelves every day or every time I go to the store. Nothing. So hopefully they will get their years.
I know. I have seen some people on homesteading sites and things on Facebook say that they're coming back. Some of them bought like an entire cart full. So I don't know that we need that many. But so anyways, goal 1, finish the garden, get it much, much larger, and get lots more stuff planted in here. So that's what goal number 1. Let's go over to the barn. Alright, so this is about 2/3 of the size of the barn, what the finished product is going to be. We really needed to get this much of it done and under roof though, so that we could store some of your stuff in there, because you've got a tractor and a mower and some of those things that really just shouldn't sit out. So
hopefully by end of next year, that pile of lumber will be on that building.
that's right. So that's a big goal for us. That's going to make a huge difference for us here on the homestead. Ben does construction. So Ben does construction as that's his career, and so he would really like to get all of his tools organized in here and make a workshop and get that really set up and awesome so that he knows where everything is, nothing's missing or lost when he needs to go to a job. So
We're also planning a canning kitchen
that's right.
in there. So try to get the canning out of the house, control some of that heat, and so it's not all in the house, and hopefully be able to do it a little faster because we'll have a much larger stove and
get more things going at one time, and then just hose it all down when we're done.
Yep.
That's the plan.
Hopefully.
All right. There's about 1 million small projects that we want to get done. We need to finish out our driveway here, add another load of stone. So we want all of our trellis panels to be put in so that we can grow even more food here as well. So that's going to be coming first thing in the spring. That's my goal for Ben. I have lots of goals for Ben.
Yes.
I'll help you.
You always do.
All right, well, we're out in the goat area. What are the plans?
So started, picked up this little carport at a friend of mine that we buy stuff that is discounted, and it was I think it was one that was used and returned to the store, and he picked it up. So we have 2 of these. So my goal is to get one of these up, and I want to cover that with wood and make a little barn out of it. And
Tarps don't really hold up very well out here.
no, the wind kind of destroys
Too windy
them.
and bad in the winter.
But I think, I'm not 100% nailed down on this idea, but that is our current goat barn, where the carport is about double the size at least. So I think what I'm gonna do is move the goats out of the goat barn, move them into this carport, give them a little bit more room, be able to get some areas that we can block off in case we do have some baby goats, hopefully. We'll see.
They're kind of looking pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're hoping that a couple of them are at least.
Time will tell. We'll see.
I would really like to actually milk goats and just have all of that milk for the family and be able to make products out of it and all kinds of yummy stuff. So I'm hoping that they're pregnant. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Super fun.
So then the old goat barn will become the new chicken coop. And then the old, you can kind of see them back there in the background. Those 2 chicken coops I will use for brooders, and as we rotate chickens, and we'll get those like more when they're small and kind of getting used to the property and stuff. And then in the background there, the field. So that is another big goal of ours. We did plant that. It was really late fall, so we didn't get a lot of growth, but we're hoping to get some pasture orchard grass and alfalfa mix growing in that field, so we can open that up to the animals and maybe even add a couple more animals.
I really want to get pigs next, I think. Just a couple for our own consumption, maybe a couple of our friends, but I don't want to start huge, but eventually I think that I would like to breed some baby piglets and sell them. So specialty ones, the really cute piglets. So that's the goal, just to ease into it. All of this takes a lot of planning and a lot of time. So Ben works full time, and with our 6 kids and homeschooling them, a lot of our stuff has to be really, really thought out and planned, because we're hesitant to add more time commitment on our hands sometimes, because we know we love this life and all of the things that we're doing, but sometimes it can just take over everything if you do it all at once. So we're trying to just slow our pace and bring on what we know we can handle. So I think a goat just ran past. Yeah, so I think those are really the main things for this year. What do you think? Is there anything else big? Lots of little projects, but
Typical, like, build up the firewood supply, stuff like that.
I think part of this, we've always been passionate about growing our own food and having our own animals and things, because we know the possibility is there that the country might not always be as it as it currently is. So I think that part of homesteading, I think that across the board, most people are pretty passionate about growing their own food, knowing what's going into their bodies. So we've always had that there. I mean, since we started this and kind of had that desire planted in our heart. This last year, it was a huge blessing to be on a homestead when things were going a little bit crazy in our country. There was some reassurance knowing that we have food and we have, chickens and eggs and potential for animals if they need to be eaten, and we have a store up of food and a seed collection. So I think it just really emphasized that this year, how important those things are to us and how passionate we are about it. So we're just gonna kind of up our game, I think. Okay, well, those are our goals for this year. Thanks for hanging out with us, even though it's a little cruddy outside, but we're glad that you're here, and we look forward to being with you throughout the year.
All right,
We'll catch you next time.
Go feed some animals.
Yeah. Bye.